Diana Spencer was not born a princess, but she was a member of one of Great Britain's oldest and most important families. Even as an upper-class aristocrat, Diana had two jobs working with children. She first met Prince Charles at one of his polo matches, and as the relationship became well known, she was bothered by photographers everywhere she went. On July 29, 1981, the two were married, and Diana Spencer became Princess Diana. Contrary to what Diana thought would happen, the public was even more fascinated with her after the wedding. She needed a squad of bodyguards surrounding her to protect her from the photographers. She was always more popular than her husband on walkabouts. Prince Charles even joked that he needed two wives to cover both sides of the street. On June 21, 1982, almost a year after their wedding anniversary, Diana gave birth to Prince William. However, her joy was dampened because she felt pushed around by the royal family, who did not take her desire to be a hands-on mother seriously. When Prince Harry was born, Charles expressed disappointment in the gender and red hair color of the baby. Diana later wrote, "Then, suddenly as Harry was born, it just went bang. Our marriage. The whole thing went down the drain." As her marriage unraveled and Diana had no power in the royal family, she controlled what she could: public image. The press chronicled her visits to hospitals and her work with AIDS patients, homeless families, and disabled children. Simultaneously, Diana was devoted to her own sons, and a few mistakes on Charles' part gave the public the impression that Diana loved her sons and Charles was indifferent. Charles and Diana endured a long separation before the Queen finally approved the divorce. Not long after, Diana began dating Dodi Fayed, son of the successful businessman Mohammed Al Fayed, in July of 1997. They spent as much time together as possible over the next month, while newspapers and tabloids breathlessly reported the new romance. On August 30th, Diana and Dodi arrived at the Ritz Hotel in Paris for a short visit. Diana planned to return to London the next day to see her boys before they went back to school. The couple intended to eat dinner at a restaurant outside the hotel, but the press attention was so intense that they decided to return to the Ritz. After dinner, Dodi, Diana, Henry Paul, the driver, and Trevor Rees-Jones, the bodyguard, decided to leave the hotel by the back entrance, hoping to avoid the paparazzi. Paul had been drinking and had taken several medications. Their Mercedes pulled away at 12:20 a.m. on the morning of August 31st, 1997. Despite their illusions, the paparazzi had caught on, and at least 6 cars and motorcycles were in hot pursuit of the Mercedes. Paul ran a red light and was zigzagging through traffic at estimated speeds of over 100 miles per hour, well over the speed limit of 30. When the car hit a dip in the road at the entrance to the Alma Tunnel, it almost became airborne. As Paul struggled to control the car, he saw a small white car in front of him. He swerved to avoid it, but the Mercedes clipped the white car, breaking its tail light and the Mercedes headlight. The Mercedes plowed straight into one of the tunnel's columns, and the impact spun the car around before it slammed into the wall. Henry Paul and Dodi Fayed were killed instantly. Trevor Rees-Jones, the only one wearing a seatbelt, survived with severe head and facial injuries. Diana was on the floor between the front and back seats, alive, but badly injured. An emergency room physician named Friedrich Méliès came upon the scene and did his best to help Diana before the ambulance arrived 6 minutes later. French ambulances are like traveling emergency rooms, so Diana was treated at the scene for 45 minutes while paramedics desperately tried to stabilize her breathing and blood pressure. Although she did not seem to be badly injured, she was losing a lot of blood internally. Just after 2 a.m., the ambulance arrived at the hospital, and Diana had already gone into cardiac arrest. The doctors tried desperately to save her, but Diana was bleeding internally and died at 4 a.m. on August 31st, 1997. According to royal aides, when Prince Charles heard of Diana's death, he cried out and then burst into uncontrollable tears. Queen Elizabeth, however, remained calm. Initial reports indicated that Diana had not been seriously injured, so news of her death came as a shock to the world. Flowers overflowed outside Diana's home, Kensington Palace, and other royal sites as the public expressed its grief. On July 29, 1981, Londoners had lined the streets to celebrate the wedding that turned Lady Diana Spencer into a princess. On September 6, 1997, London streets were filled with crowds for the princess once again, but this time they were there to say goodbye. Princess Diana once said, "Being constantly in the public eye gives me a special responsibility." Diana took that responsibility, and in spite of scandals, personal troubles, and a life lived without privacy, she made a difference in the world. Diana was much more than the people's princess. She was a powerful public figure and a humanitarian who left her mark on millions.